Hello everyone, this is Mindy and today I am here again with Eric Thor from the Eric Thor channel.
I'm gonna be a regular.
He's a regular already. And we're talking today about dating apps or the dating culture and hookup culture. And I just thought of having this open conversation. As you know, like my channel has different formats of videos. Yeah, sometimes I have a guest and we have conversations. Eric, thank you for being here.
Thanks for being here.
Now, I wanted to ask you, what do you think as a male, because I have another video on my channel where I talk about dating apps from my perspective. If you haven't seen that video, it's gonna be linked up here, down there, everywhere. But I wanted to know, so the male perspective on the dating app. What do you think about it and the hookup culture?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like I've always had like this negative like association with the term dating in itself. I've always been like, I think I was saying like, oh, I've actually never dated anyone. I've definitely had relationships with people, but it's never been like that official, like going on a dating app, looking up a profile, and then going out and seeing that person. There's been so many things about that has felt super forced, unnatural. But I have been looking at dating apps for sure, and I've been like considering, okay, can you use dating apps? Do they work? And so far, I've been having difficulties.
Okay, tell me more about it. When did you start using? How long has it been?
I been like checking it out during the summer, August, September, then I turned it off everywhere, and then I tried some different apps. I tried Breeze now, which is like you get 3 profiles a day to look at, and then you see if anything tends up to go anywhere. With Breeze there is no conversations, it's just you get straight to the first date, and the reason why I kind of thought, yeah, okay, that sounds a little bit better, was because, you know, with Tinder and with many of the other, like Facebook dating and others, you're just swiping the whole time. Like you're swiping, you know, you have maybe like forced conversation, and then nothing happens in a sense.
Wait a moment, is there a Facebook dating?
Yes, there is a Facebook dating. If you set your status to single on Facebook, Facebook goes, hey, did you know we have Facebook dating?
Oh my god, I didn't know that.
And it's absolutely terrible.
Oh, okay, good that I didn't know it.
You didn't miss anything.
Yeah, no. So you're now on the Facebook dating and Tinder, or no? You're not?
No, I was actually banned from Tinder.
Why?
Oh, catfishing. No, I was traveling from Sweden and to the Netherlands, and then they were like, huh, how does this person suddenly show up in Sweden and then in the Netherlands?
Airplanes, duh.
So strange. Oh, do people travel in these times? No, like what I'm finding is like Tinder and like those things, they don't give me much, because the things I'm seeing from the profiles, they don't say anything about the
things
person.
You mean the people.
Yeah, okay. They don't even become people. They don't even feel real. Like you see like Jenny, accountant or account manager or sales assistant, or
you don't like people who works at like accountant job.
No, you can work with whatever you like.
Blue collar jobs, no for Eric.
Yeah, blue collar work, no. No, it's just like there's nothing about that sparks interest in me, in a sense. Like that's not how I connect with people. I have found that how I usually connect with people is I meet them through events, through when I was engaged in politics, through community work, non-profit activism.
Okay, but you sound like the person that is not made for dating apps. So why are you there if you're mentioning then that you can meet people also through events?
Because there has not been any events since COVID.
Oh, come on, you organized your own meetups as well.
Yeah, it's true. Like it's starting up slowly, so it's getting better for sure. But I think it's just just trying out different things and seeing what works, and getting yeah, trying to get myself in a mindset of thinking about, okay, what kind of things do I need in a partner in the future, and what kind of relationship do I want? And yeah, because it feels like, yeah, my last relationship ended like 4 months ago in May. Yeah, I've had to reconsider a lot of things, like, okay, what kind of partner do I want to go for then, and what kind of relationship do I want?
So you're trying to do like an experiment, and
Yeah.
while getting to know yourself more, what you want, what you need, you're using the dating apps.
Yeah. I was wondering, have you used dating apps?
Oh yes, I have, and I'm not there anymore.
No.
No, because I don't like them. And I have a video where I talk about it. Like, oh, and maybe people come to this video because they have seen the video before. But okay, in a nutshell, dating apps for me feel like there is no real connection to another human being. Just what you say, like you just say like a name, Jenny, accountant, and that's it. And a photo doesn't feel like real and human.
No, it doesn't.
And I cannot connect that way with people. I need more, like
Yeah, for sure.
more than that. And it feels also that it's like too much impressions. I see too many photos and too many profiles, and you talk to many people at the same time. It's just not for me.
No.
Really not for me.
No. So I'm wondering, is it for anyone? Like, who could benefit from having a
Well, a
dating
lot of
app?
people.
Yeah.
Many people have found their partners there, and many people every day is there
Yeah.
because they are sure that they're going to meet the love of their lives there. So it's a big business that is moving millions and millions of euros.
But I've heard that many of those services, like Tinder and others, that they try to keep people using the service because they never want people to stop using it. So they don't really want to stimulate connections or partnerships, but they want to stimulate more quick hookups and more like the dopamine of new person, new people, like that kind of.
I would believe so. I wouldn't doubt that could be a reason, like what they try to do. But now you just mentioned the hookup culture. Okay, so do you think that it's the same dating and hookup culture? What's the difference, if there is any?
I mean, like, there's always that question of, are you looking for something serious or are you looking for something casual? And I think that's like, a lot of people might still just be in that. I think they're afraid to say that they're looking for anything serious because, yeah, serious, then suddenly there's a commitment there, and there's like, a lot of things that feel like difficult. You might feel like, oh, I'm just going through my studies, or I'm just like getting started with life and I don't know what I want, so I just want to have fun. Like, so a lot of people are probably just looking for quick hookups or like casual things, and don't want to think or be in a mindset of how do I find something serious.
And would you say that that's the majority of the people there, or is that the minority? What is the percentage there? Serious versus hookups?
Oh, I have done, actually, I did a long study evaluating the statistics.
That's what I want, the findings only.
Yeah, and I found that about 88% of the people on Tinder are purely looking for hookups.
I don't believe you.
No.
Okay, I almost believe you. That's why I say I don't believe you.
Did you know that 99% of all statistics are made up?
No, but I would believe so. It sounds like convincing, this theory.
Yes.
I'm always hoping for everything to be true and be false at the same time. So I don't know, maybe it's true.
I do believe that a large amount of people on Tinder are mainly looking for something casual, and it might be also something easy to tell yourself as well, because maybe you are looking for something serious, but you don't want to say that you're looking for something serious. I think it's also a little bit of a game of cat and mouse there, in a bit like
they don't want to scare people off,
no,
right?
No, I want 3 kids. Then suddenly, immediately, like the questions become a lot fewer in a sense.
Yeah. I went on a date not so long ago with a person that I met through actually old school dating websites. So no app, but more like sending old school like emails to people. Okay, so I went on a date this way, and this person said to me, "Well, I met this girl who was so weird. She said from the first date that she wanted to get married." And I said, well, it's good that she said she wanted to get married. She didn't say she wanted to get married to you, did she? No, but she said that she would never have sex before she gets married with anyone. So, yeah, fuck, I'm not going to, get married with her. So I just didn't see her anymore. I was like, okay, I know I don't want to see you anymore because you're an idiot as well.
Yeah. I wonder what he was thinking there. I think it's also like the defensive mechanism in a sense, like because I think a lot of people are afraid of commitment today. And don't want to like think about those things. They don't want to think about a marriage, or they don't want to be vulnerable in a sense. Because if you also say that I want to get married or things like that, you also leave a lot of power or pressure on the other person in a sense.
Power, is that true? How do you do that?
I think power is probably an element that is in all relationships to some extent. Like you're always like negotiating boundaries and things like that. It doesn't have to be like the hard cold power dynamics, but I think fear definitely creates a lot of it. You want to keep your cards to yourself, and you want to know the cards of the other person. Because that creates like the sense of security in a sense, where you feel like you're the one in control and the other person is.
But isn't it weird, like in the case of the guy I'm telling you about, because this person said to me, and also on his profile, he says that he wants a long-term relationship that leads into a marriage. So he says that, but at the same time, like during the conversation, he says, oh, this woman said on the first day that she wants to marry and that she would never have sex before marriage. So I was out. Like, it doesn't make sense.
No.
What are you looking for then? You said you're looking for the same, right?
Yeah. It's also a little bit like people don't know what they want, or they might have goals. They might say that they want a long-term relationship, but the question is,
Bingo.
Do they want to have a long-term relationship?
No.
Because that's it's hard. It's easy to want something, but hard to do something, I think.
Right. Yeah, I do think that if you want a serious relationship, but this is just my opinion, don't go to Tinder. Or maybe go, but be super upfront, or not super upfront, but just say what you want, because that's going to move out of your way everybody who is scared about commitment or is scared about whatever it is that you want.
I know, like when I was just getting into Tinder, I was talking with a friend of mine, and he was like immediately he got super excited. He's married. He's like, oh, somebody that I can get into the idea of dating with, like in a sense.
I know those people.
He just took my phone out of my hands, and he was like immediately like, Eric, this is this thing you should have on your profile, and this you should not have on your profile. You should mention that you like sports, DIY, like you should definitely put in these interests. And I'm like just hearing him talk, I'm like, what kind of people do you want me to match with?
But everybody else have that on their profile. I love sports, traveling, and barbecue, and whatever DIY. Like most of guys say that, and the profile pictures is holding a fish.
Of course, that's
they went fishing.
Classic.
And their motorcycle.
Of course, holding a fish on top of a motorcycle, preferably with a sword in the other hand.
Jesus.
It's the ideal picture. It's
yeah. So you think that the hookup culture and the dating culture are intertwined, but they're not the same?
Yeah, I think they definitely intersect all the time because people get scared and push and pull, and they worry about what they second guess what they want. They might sometimes want something serious, but then when it comes to them, they might be like, maybe I just want something easy. So it's also a bit of like, it's a setting boundaries, like constantly, like what kind of things am I, what kind of things do I want to have in my life, and what kind of things don't I want to have?
Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than, okay, I think both things are terrible, like dating apps and hookup culture. But this is going to be my opinion. But yes, it's my channel, right? I can say for me, both are terrible, because you have, let's zoom into the hookup culture. If you are doing hookups one after the other, okay, fine if that's the stage of life where you're at. But for how long can you do that without feeling that you have no soul? Sorry, I think that leads you to having a unfulfilling romantic life, in my opinion. Or you can do that for maybe if you're in your early 20s, do that. But or whatever stage you're in your life. But I mean, I don't think that after 30 you should do that anymore.
Yeah, I feel like.
But it's personal.
I feel like you have to think about, okay, the importance of attachments. And I mean attachments as in secure, stable friendships and relationships in a sense. Because I think every time when you have a hookup and you move on to the next person, there's always a degree of reaction there in a sense. Like, okay, so did we not like each other's? Why did we not match? What made us like not decide to continue this? Like, there is like that element. You might be the one that decides to move on from it or to move forward from it, but you might still like, there's still like that feeling about your head. Like, why am I not building anything long term? I think that's probably why you can feel it's a bit soulless in a sense.
Yeah, and then what if you are the one who was dumped, or let's say, or ghosted or whatever, like another person decided that they didn't want to keep hooking up with you. So what do you do in that situation? What many people do in that situation is you just try to fill that void with other distractions, like more hookups or social media, like talking to 10 people at the same time. It's like you notice it's so empty. At the same time, you're not dealing with the things that you have to be dealing with. Also, if you want to have a relationship or date one person longer term, or getting to know a person, that requires that you also are more vulnerable and that you like work on yourself or get your act together so you can, you can stop jumping from one person to the other. So it requires a certain level of growth and commitment to yourself. I'm not talking about commitment to the person you just met, but it's easier to say, well, I just go from one person to the other and I just want sex. Well, fine if that's what you want, and I hope for you if that's what you want, that's some like short period, because after a certain period, I think it deteriorates. It deteriorates like how you live your relationship, it damages you somehow. But yeah, if you don't agree, that's fine. Don't agree. Don't write awful things on my comments, please.
I was thinking about it from the other perspective, because I'm definitely a person that looks for something serious, and I prefer longer term connections over anything else. So I've also noticed that sometimes I think I can also be a bit intense when it comes to those things, just like that girl you mentioned who brought up marriage in a conversation. Maybe I wouldn't necessarily bring up marriage in a conversation like that, but I'm definitely the kind of person that says, hey, I actually really like you and I would like to see you more, and I would like to get official, or I would like to start dating with you more consistently. Like if there's like in that situation, I'm definitely gonna be quite upfront with the other person and say, actually I really like you and I feel like we have a great connection. And I think that can be actually something like it can definitely be intimidating for the other person.
But that will only weed out those that are not a good match for you.
Yeah, it's true. You have to be open for that kind of reaction, and I think you have to move forward from that. And yeah, like just take, okay, that person was just not ready.
But why would you? Okay, maybe I understand, but why would you feel it's a rejection?
It's
you don't know them. You were not really with them, or were you?
It could be like after the third, fourth date or something, you notice that we're actually really hitting off, and actually it's just like really cool.
I thought you were talking about a first date.
Yeah,
but okay.
Yeah, no,
I understand that.
And the first date I would probably not immediately go into that, because I wouldn't feel that. Like I do need time to warm up to another person, also to know, okay, do I actually match with this person, and like what kind of person are they and stuff like that. So, but after the third or fourth date, I usually know.
Okay, let's get married.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yes.
City Hall, 3 p.m. next Saturday.
Yeah. Are you ready next week? No. It's just that for me, a marriage has never been something that's been like, but the connection, definitely, the long-term commitment. I'm definitely very loyal, and like I really do want to have somebody that I feel like I can commit to for the rest of my life, ideally.
Yeah. Okay, so do you, like now you said, let me see if I can recap what you said. You don't like dating apps, but you're giving it a shot because you want to see how it goes, blah, blah, blah. For how long would you give it a try, or you don't have any time limit or any point when you said, okay, I feel this way, I don't want this anymore?
For the time, I feel like it's potentially could lead somewhere, because I'm open to the fact that yeah, you might meet somebody anywhere. Like you have to give things a try in a sense. So yeah, you see what the opportunities are available there, and you also go out in the real world. Like actually, like I'm definitely the kind of person that can sit and see somebody at a cafe and be like, hey, that person is cute, and start up a conversation. That's also nice.
I was going to ask that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah, because, you know, I've been listening to Jordan Peterson for a while.
Yeah.
And so he talks about that like this assertiveness is
Yeah.
kind of lost, and people don't go and reach out to other, and particularly he talks about men, you know, that he has like some like work, part of his work, big part is talking to young men, saying
Yeah.
like, okay, you hide behind your smartphones and then you talk to people, but in real life, you don't have the guts to go and talk to a girl you like.
I have definitely done that many times. Asked people out many times, and most of the people that I met in real life first.
Yeah.
Generally, my pattern is I'm friends with a person first, and then I see if we vibe, and then if we vibe, yeah, then I will start initiating something more.
Yeah. Yeah. And then you introduce the marriage
yes,
idea.
exactly.
After the friendship has gone for a while. Okay.
Yeah, it can be up to 6 months. Depends.
Let's go
Who
to
knows?
the city hall Saturday.
Yeah. No, like I said, marriage itself is not something I attach any specific value to. It's certainly cute, but I could be just as open to go spending the same amount of money traveling the world together for 6 months instead. So I also find that like, yeah, actually marriage costs a lot of money, and we could just marry each other's in City Hall, and then we can spend the money on doing something like adventurous together or something instead. I would definitely get married if I like the person.
Okay. Yeah, well, that's an important one. Find someone who has the same values as well, because if you think it's important and the other person doesn't think it's important, I don't think it's going to go that well, because it's not only about the marriage then, there are other values that are underlying there.
Yeah.
Underneath that, you know, family, whatever that is.
I think also I'm realizing now when you ask me all these questions that when it comes to what things we want from a relationship, it's really like a messy ball of yarn in a sense. Like you're really like untangling something, like trying to figure out, okay, what kind of relationship do we want to have? Like how serious are we? Like how much do we like each other? Do we want to get married? Do we like to have kids? Like all those things.
But there is another thing that we haven't talked about. It's how do you say Iceland in Dutch? I forgot the word in English. The requirements, let's say. So they say, okay, I have this list. The person needs to be whatever that is, physical or whatever. And whenever they start talking to this person, even though on the messages, they just discard a person soon after because they think, okay, they don't have or like whatever, they work as an accountant, for instance, and I just don't, my ex was an accountant and so accountants don't work, or whatever, you know. One little things makes you feel like you can just discard people easily.
Yeah.
And I think that's because you just feel like they are not real people. It's just another avatar.
I think so. And I also thought about something else, and that is also when people make these kind of lists, like maybe they write that they don't want to have kids. The question is, what does that really mean? Like, do they actually not want to have kids? How do we know that they don't want to have kids? Like, if somebody says they don't want to have kids, I think we should never take that just as face value. We should definitely respect people's choices, of course. But we should always like discuss, okay, but why is that? And for what reason? And under what conditions? And what are the, like, because I think people can be very quick to tell themselves, no, I don't want this or I don't want that. But without really, like, taking the time to really reflect on what that means in a sense.
But do you mean that on a dating app, if you are in Breeze or whatever app, you start talking to a person, if they said on the profile, I don't want children, you should ask them?
Yeah, I think at some point you should definitely have that conversation with the other person and ask, how do you really feel about it? Like, how do you, what are the reservations? Because everyone has like, you should never take anything at face value when it comes to dating, because anything a person says, it could be a lot deeper than what you think.
I like that. New insight.
Yeah, and it also comes to red flag things and so on. Like, yeah, we never know what's going on behind another person or why they do certain things. We always should ask questions.
Yeah, but when I was on the dating apps, I would also do the same. Like, okay, this person, I want children, they don't want children, and then just write them off.
Yeah.
Why would I spend my time there? You see?
Yeah, no,
Done the same.
I get that. It's like, but that you can make those decisions, and I completely understand because of course you don't want to end up with somebody that doesn't want to have children. But I think if you end up dating somebody and you end up finding out that that person doesn't want to have children, you shouldn't immediately go, oh, then we don't. Then we're not going to work. You should start asking questions. You should say, this is something that is serious to me or something that matters to me. So I was wondering how you feel about it.
Well, what you're saying is true, because I also met people who says at the beginning, for instance, I'm not looking for anything serious. Not with me. Like, I have a friend who said on his profile, I'm not looking for anything serious. And then he came across a girl he really likes, and now they're in a relationship. So maybe it was the fit he thought he didn't want it because he didn't meet the right person. But I think it's also dangerous to go date a person with the intention that they're going to change their minds. That's also dangerous. You shouldn't do that to yourself.
I mean, they're definitely not going to change your mind if you don't discuss it with them and talk to them about it. And if you talk about it with them, and you end up hitting a wall and you realize, no, this person is absolutely close to this and will never change their mind. Yeah, of course, then you definitely have some thinking to do about, okay, do I want to continue this or not? But you should definitely not be afraid of challenging another person also on what they want and see, because values are complicated.
Dating, like on an app, dating apps is harder for men or for women?
I think it's harder for a man to find a match through dating for sure, because it's definitely the case that most female profiles are fake online. Like there's lots
Really?
of robots and things like that. The ratio is very skewed, so like 80% of the users are usually men and 20% are women. So it's they've even found that dating apps create these robots and AI girls in a sense to keep guys interested, because you're matching with somebody, but it's actually a robot. But you're thinking you're matching with somebody. Oh, this is maybe a chance. This is a good looking girl. Who knows? But in that sense, it's harder for the guy to find a match. But I can totally imagine that as a girl, that it's hard to find like to choose when you have so many different options also, and when there's so many guys that are so overt with interest and with messaging and things like that.
Yeah, I think as a woman, I think on average, I've heard also for many women that you just get a lot of messages.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I hear that some girls are super frustrated about that, like, oh my God, why are all these people messaging me in a sense, or why are guys being so annoying?
It's overwhelming. You don't know like what to do anymore, because in the end it's just another message. You can say maybe there is a guy with a very good intention saying, okay, I really like you or whatever, I want to talk to you. But in the end, because there are so many messages, it feels like just another message.
Yeah. And the fact of the life is that 50% of the population are women and 50% are men. And if you look at things from a straight or heterosexual point of view, there is the same amount of choices for everyone. But there's definitely something in the dating world that is, there's definitely some kind of a dating gap that is really complicated and hard to understand.
Yeah. So if there's 50-50, why there is more men than I don't know, why is that?
Of course you have like the whole like the guys usually the one taking initiative and things like that. And you also have like that the guys are usually more open to hookups and casual things in sense. So it's more likely that guys will be like searching for and maybe replying to hundreds of girls and
copy paste the same message to 100 girls as well.
Hey, I've seen you look so special to me, like
oh my God, I have some those cheesy messages and like poems like the stars and the moon and whatever, and in the end their WhatsApp number.
Great. It's also a cultural thing. I heard that it was really difficult for Indian guys to hook up in Western culture, because Indian, like culture is very much poetic and things like that, and then they
Oh
have
my
like that
God.
style of they think that's a normal way, like that way of expressing love and affection for somebody. They think that's natural, but in the Western world, the tendency is play your cards safe. And keep your emotions to yourself.
I mean,
and go into it more rationally first.
I'm not going to say that I don't like poetry. I do like it. But if I don't know the person and the first message I get is like, your eyes are this and that, and you barely can see my eyes on my photo, and they still talk about my eyes being 2 stars just falling from the skies and whatever.
Wow, that's original.
And so that's the point when I'm like, nah, whatever.
Yeah, of course. They've given you no reason at all to be interested in them.
Exactly, but if you know me a little bit more and then you write something about me, like I'm flattered, I have my, of course, my emotions, I can feel something, but Jesus Christ, an opening like poem that you sent 100 times to 100 women, please.
I think it's probably better to start with a question like, get to know the person.
Do you like poetry? Okay, now I send them a
Exactly. Like make the person feel like you actually see them as a person and not just.
But that's the other thing. I think as a man, probably you want or you need to be more recursive, like to be more creative in terms to getting the attention of the girl. Because as I said, like there is a lot of guys messaging. For instance, if a guy, one of these poetic guys, would send first a message saying, "Do you like poetry?" out of nowhere, that would be actually fun, like would be something unexpected, and I would say yes, why, and then he goes with the poem. You know, at least there is this interaction before.
Exactly.
But if you just send copy paste, guys, don't do that.
Yeah, it's like they're looking for reaction. It's like they're looking to be just a wall or to be just the initiator and not to have a real relationship or exchange.
No. Well, Eric, I think we have talked a lot about it. I think we can go just on and on with this conversation, but I'm going to stop it here.
Thanks for having me on about this. It was really interesting.
Yeah, no, thank you for coming over and comment in the comments below. If you like Eric on my channel, maybe I'll bring him back again.
I like that.
Don't forget to check out his channel. He has lots of interesting things going on over there as well. Lots of different cultural topics, psychology, so go and check it out.
I'm a huge philosophy nerd, so lots of philosophy, lots of psychology.
Yes. All right. Thank you for watching. Thank you for coming, and see you next time, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
See you next time, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, I need a drink.
How is your energy level?
Now I'm done. I just want to take a couple of photos.
How do you do the hookup culture thing?
I don't know how you do the hookup culture. We do hookup. I do hookup, and then it points to you, and you do dating, and you point to me.
Sounds great.
So, wait, so, and so. Yeah, that way.
Perfect.
Okay.